When it's raining and when the track's wet, there's obviously less grip. I think we can all agree on that. But why do you have to change your line? That's the part that I'm more interested in discussing. So if you're watching racing or if you've seen racing in the rain, you'll see people deviating from the normal dry racing line. And the reason for that is as a track's getting rubbered in more and more, so the more usage there is, the more rubber that's laid into the surface of the track. And if you ever look at the racing surface, the tarmac, it's not perfectly smooth. You know, you may hear that a track is smooth, but that doesn't mean the actual texture of the material of the surface is smooth. It's actually pretty coarse in some situations, and the more usage you have, the more it polishes that coarser tarmac, so the stone that is laid onto the track. So you'll see on like an older track, more so than on a new track, you drive even further off of the racing line because it's a more coarse, rougher surface, which is going to grip the tire a lot more. So that's what you're looking for when you're driving in the rain, especially on an older track versus a new track. Now, there's also different factors. There's oils coming out of the surface. There's rubber obviously polishing the surface, and the more rubber there is, the smoother it's going to be. And you don't want smooth surfaces. You want more coarse, rough surfaces. That's going to give you more grip, especially when we're talking about the rain, because it's going to channel the water as well. Less standing water, more coarse surface. That's where the grip is in the wet. Another thing you're going to want to avoid in the wet are any painted surfaces. So the white lines or yellow lines on the edge of the track, curbs, in most situations you'll try to avoid, because those surfaces are going to be really, really slippery, because again, those are the smoother surfaces. We want to avoid that. Nothing smooth, everything rough. When it comes to braking, we'll start by talking about braking into a hairpin or a heavy braking zone. Now, generally, what you'll want to do is start by either braking in the middle of the track or on the inside part of the track. And the reason for that is we're trying to avoid braking on the smoother, rubbered in part of the racetrack. And anytime there's a lot of load that's put into the track from the tire and the car, that's just tearing up the surface, it's smoothing it up. Obviously, a lot more rubber is going into the surface of the track, so we're going to try to avoid that and go either middle or inside. And that's something that you'll test, and it's up to you to decide, is there enough grip in the middle, or do I have to keep going further and further inside?
On that topic, though, I think one negative in that area is the fact that ACC has the same grip level pretty much across the entire track. So although it looks like there's marbles, you can't really hear the marbles. But more importantly, it doesn't feel like you're driving on marbles. So if I go offline here, I have the same grip basically as I do on the rubbered line. At least it feels that way. I don't know if it is numerically slightly different in the coding of the game, but yeah, in real life it's definitely more extreme if you go offline. So if I approach Blanchimont completely off the line onto the marbles, I would feel absolutely, well, not absolutely no grip, but very little grip in the next few corners. So yeah, that's a slight negative. Hopefully that's something that gets improved in AC Evo.